So first of all, I want to thank all of you for coming tonight. I do appreciate all of your comments and everything that you're saying. And FLA is a fantastic group, and I know most of you belong to FLAMA groups on different campuses, and they're teaching you public advocacy skills, which is what our great country is all about. So I appreciate you coming tonight. So I have a response to you in the form of a report that I'm going to give you at this time, okay? And I'm going to address your request for A through G requirements, okay? So I would love it if you would all stay and listen to the report, okay? Uh-oh. 1 second, technical difficulties. Yeah, there are about, I think, maybe 5 to 10 copies on the back table of the report, too, for anybody who wants one.
So Dr. De Leon's report is on the back table. There's about 10 copies. So please make sure to get one, but we're also going to be able to have that posted on our website.
So before I get started and while we're getting the report uploaded, the good news is that we have the same exact goals for our community. I can tell you, and I think everyone in this room will agree, that since I started here a little over a year ago, I want to say our schools, our staff, our administration understand very clearly that I will not accept anything less than all of our students being A through G eligible. So that being, and I want to say our principals who are in the audience and everybody here understands that very, very clearly, and it is one of our board goals. I've only been here a year, but we've done a lot of work towards that ever since. And so I want to tell you that I'm really proud of you, and you do need to know that the district is well aware of where we are as a district. Well, and we're also well aware of where we need to go, because this is a social and an economic issue. This is not just an educational issue, right? This has a much greater result for the greater good. Am I right? Okay, so we need to all work on this together, because this is our main goal. And I think people are pretty sick of hearing me say it, but I will continue to say it till we're there. Am I right? Okay, so what I do want to show you is some updated data for our UC eligibility rate, because I noticed that you had the 2015 data. So I'm showing 16 and 17. And so our unofficial 2017 data, because we still have time until December to make sure that it's corrected, it's probably going to go up a bit. Is right now as a district for 17, we're showing 31% and 26% for our Latino community, which is up 5 in just basically a little over a year. So, and this has to do with the work that we're doing so far towards A through G. So I wanted to make sure that you had that updated data. So here, OUHSD absolutely has the goal of creating a college-going culture. It's all that we do. It's all that we talk about. It's all we prepare for. You must understand that this does not, I think somebody very eloquently stated that we know this will take a few years. This does not happen overnight. Rome was not built in a day, and many, many things have to be in place. So I want to first talk about the things that we've done so far, and then I will discuss with you the things that we have planned. So the steps we've taken thus far. As a district, beginning last year, every single student will take the PSAT and the SAT free of charge as a district. We give it to the PSAT to every 9th through 11th grader, and this year every 11th grader will take the SAT free of charge. Why? Because college is important and A through G is important, and we want our students to be in front of that test multiple times. And we want our teachers to take the results and inform instruction and backwards design according to those results, so that our students can receive an education that builds towards college preparation and entrance exams. So I don't know how many of you have experienced taking this in the last couple of years, and we will continue to do that in our schools. Most districts have a very small percentage of students who ever take the PSAT or SAT, and they pay for it themselves. So that's one step that we're taking because we believe every student should go to college. Secondly, we have implemented an inclusion model for AP. So we are encouraging all students to challenge themselves to the AP. We take the results from the PSAT, which is called the AP Potential Report, and we use that to identify students who we believe will be successful in AP who have not previously been identified. Last year, we increased the number of students taking advanced placement by 1,500, and we also increased the percentage of students who were actually taking the test. We're up to about 86% of students taking the test, and then we also increased the pass rate by about 5 to 6%, which is that's called the trifecta, very, very difficult to do when you increase the enrollment by that many students. Thirdly, we implemented the interim assessments for the state assessment, which is a college and career aligned assessment. You guys know it as the CASIP or the SBAC. Juniors take it in the spring. This is an incredibly important test because the CSUs and our community colleges, UC hasn't yet, but they will, I suspect, have decided to use that as their placement tests. So students who are able to either meet or exceed go straight into college level English language arts and mathematics. So why is that important for our students? Because we need to use the results of the interim assessments to, again, backwards design college and career preparation, instruction aligned to college and career preparation. So we began that last year. In giving those assessments so that our students can do better and better on that. That is very critical, and we need the word to go out to all families that the CASIP is just not simply a state assessment that you just take because the state, just says we have to take it. It actually is an entrance exam, and it is really critical that our juniors understand that and take that test very, very seriously. This year, for the first year ever, all students, all seniors will apply for a 2 or 4 year college, and all eligible students will complete the FAFSA or the California DREAM Act application. This is the first year that we've actually had a goal of 100% applications, and we will accomplish that goal this year. We'll get pretty close to that goal this year. I have to thank Oxnard College and CSU-CI for supporting us and sending us admissions counselors to help us with the application process. That was huge, and we have partnered with multiple colleges towards this end so far, and you'll see it coming up. This year, we instituted the STEM PAC pathway. Last year, we had our 8th graders from our middle schools in the Hueneme School District and Ocean View, and also Oxnard, sign the STEM PAC pathway, which they were to begin as freshmen this year. And if they meet the requirements by finishing all the coursework for the STEM PAC pathway, they will have guaranteed admission to CSU-CI, and those are for all the 8th graders who signed last year. So we have actually a relatively large cohort doing that right now. We've partnered with Ventura Community College District to ensure promised pathways for all of our students. Any student who graduates from the Oxnard Union High School District will be eligible for free tuition for the first year of college through Oxnard College, and I'm finding out also Ventura College has that same program. And so that is huge for our kids who decide to go 2 years then to 4. The board also approved the reestablishment of the Oxnard Middle College High School, which opens in the fall on the campus of Oxnard College, where those students will graduate with an AA already under their belts. So that is underway. We've increased our summer school offerings to provide opportunities for D remediation. So a big piece of A through G and meeting A through G requirements is that no student can get less than a C in any course that they take that's A through G required. So a big part of this is in making sure students get C's or above and putting the supports in place. And when they don't, making sure that we have opportunities for remediation. And then also, we have partnered with the University of California, Santa Barbara to do transcript evaluation service. This is very important. They are taking all of our transcripts and evaluating where students are on the pathway to meeting their A through G requirements. And then those evaluations are given to our counselors, who will then schedule students in the appropriate classes and or to retake classes that they have D's in so that they can be A through G eligible. We also have early outreach counselors at RMHS and CIHS, and are planning to expand that to our other campuses, and they're from UCSB. So, tonight you're here to ask us to align our requirements, and so I want to make sure that everybody in our audience and community know what that is. What is A through G completion? The A through G requirements are the requirements high school graduates must meet to be eligible for the University of California or California State University systems. Private universities and out-of-state universities often don't require this because this is definitely a California system. The A through G completion rate is also referred to as the UC-CSU eligibility rate. So when you see that anywhere posted, it's either or, same thing. A through G eligible courses must be submitted by a district and approved by the University of California. And later in the next slide, you'll see what we've done towards that. Students must take and pass A through G eligible coursework in the following categories with a grade or C of C or better. So listed are the A through G requirements: 2 years of history, 4 years of English, 3 years of mathematics, 2 years of lab science, 2 years of language other than English, 1 year of visual and performing arts, and 1 year of a college prep elective. I am happy to announce that as a district, we are only one requirement away, and that is language other than English. Right now, we have a requirement that it is that or visual or performing arts as a district, and basically it needs to change to 2 years of the same language. And so that's the only one that isn't aligned at this point. So what have we done so far to move toward aligning this? So remember, the new administration has been here for 1 year, and in the last year, we have worked to ensure that all of our coursework is UC approved. So what did that mean? So let me talk to you about Rome wasn't built in a day. So we can't align our graduation requirements to A through G if our courses aren't approved. So the first thing we've done as a district is very systematically and a lot of hard work from a lot of people, and this is unheard of. We had over 60 courses UC approved in the last year. That is step number one, because until our courses are approved, you can't take them and get UC credit for them. And we had many, many courses on the books that were not approved. Second is we had to align our course sequences to the UC course sequences. What did that mean? That meant ensuring that all 9th graders take a lab science. This is a big deal because before, kids were tracked, either non-lab science or lab science, and that would sort of determine whether kids were going to be UC eligible. No longer. All 9th grade science is now lab science. So regardless of where you are, you're going to be on the lab science pathway for UC. Last year, we convened a graduation requirement task force with the goal of aligning our graduation requirements to the A through G requirements, as well as updating our grad requirements and revising our graduation requirements. This happened well over a year ago. The committee has been working very hard, and many of the steps that we are taking so far, like getting courses approved, are coming out of the committee, because we can't align the requirements unless we have approved coursework, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So far, lastly, all graduation requirements are aligned to A through G except for language other than English. That is the last one that needs to be aligned. And it is our goal to have our requirements aligned to A through G and have that be the recommendation of the committee by the spring. Hold on. Does that mean that immediately this class will be A through G eligible? No, because we have to grandfather those requirements, right? So you can't start your requirements midstream with kids who are current because they didn't have the opportunity, right? So it would start with an incoming class. This is something we've been working on. So I want to say that you need to know that we appreciate your advocacy, but you need to know we have the same goals, and we've been working on this for some time. So we are on the same track, going in the same direction, okay? So I need you to know that. So yes, the committee will come back with that recommendation to align through A through G. But it will be with a recommendation to start with a certain class of student, so incoming 9th graders. And it will come with, for at least some time, probably a tiered system. And I'm going to tell you why. The districts that you know of, like LAUSD, and everybody's read the Allies for Education report that really didn't list any of the good things we're doing. Would have been nice. But, okay, we've read that, and we've been compared to LAUSD and some of these other districts that did align their requirements previously. So one thing you need to know is those districts started that work probably over 10 years ago. Okay, why? Because, and I know nobody wants to hear this, but when you do it, often districts experience a decrease in the graduation rate. They do. And sometimes significant. One of the districts mentioned was Oakland. Oakland has a graduation rate in the 60s. Okay? So what we're not willing to do, though, is to not address all of our students. And so the idea is to put a phase-in plan and supports in place so that students can meet A through G and graduate, right? Because we don't want to lose traction and have a bunch of kids suddenly not graduate. So in the meantime, we've got to, number one, align our instruction through A through G, right? We've got to ensure all of our courses are aligned. We've got to have a phase-in plan because, again, the districts you mentioned, they didn't do it in 1 year. It takes a few years because you have to make sure kids are successful in A through G coursework, right? They got to get a C or better. It doesn't do us any good to do all that work and then everybody starts failing, right? So we're really going to be very thoughtful about how we proceed with it, okay? So we will be bringing that phase-in plan in the spring. Yes, Heather, you can clap on that. It's coming in the spring. And in the process, we will be exploring possibly a tiered system, possibly a system by which there's maybe a UC a diploma, and I don't know. Different districts do it differently. What we can't do is we can't sacrifice 30 or 40% of our students and have them not get a diploma, which has happened in some of those districts you mentioned, all right? Because I don't want to go down to like 65% and then have to work all the way back up for graduation rate either. So we've got to put things in place first. So here's what I'm saying. Yes, we are going to align our grad requirements to A through G. Did you hear? Yes, we are committing to aligning our grad requirements to A through G. Will it happen tomorrow starting with this class right now? It can't, okay? But it will happen in the next couple of years. But we are going to do it in a thoughtful, well-planned out way so that as many students as possible can do both. Meet A through G and graduate. Okay? So do know we are doing it. We are committed to doing it. Okay? We're agreeing to do it. All right? We're all on the same page. It's going to take us a couple minutes. Those other districts didn't do it overnight. It's going to take a few years, okay? So we're asking for you to give us that opportunity to put it in place, but it is coming. Do know that. Okay, thank you, board.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you could do that louder.
I have a question.
All of you can do that louder because you're asking
You got
for
your
A
way.
through G.
You got it.
And it's
We're
going to
doing
happen.
it.
So,
You can
Eder,
clap louder.
come on, FLA. Steve Hall? Trustee Hall?
I just want to make a comment. I know that I heard your comment, so I just had a question. This is an ongoing process. So how would people who are interested in following our progress, what are the best avenues for them to do that? Are there committees or things that people can attend so they can observe? And
Good question, because I was going to recommend that all of you, and he loves it when I do this too, by the way, contact Dr. Thomas McCoy. Wave at everybody. He's right there. He's our Assistant Superintendent of Ed Services. If you would like to be part of our graduation requirement task force that he's running to make sure that anybody who wants to be on it can be on it and give input towards those requirements, okay? So he is on our website. He'll post the dates so that you can come to any meeting you want to come to, okay? Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to proceed with staff reports. Dr. McCoy, you're up for the CASP.
Thank you all for coming tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Trustee Herrera, can we take a 5-minute recess?
Yeah, we need a recess.
Okay, we're going to take a 5-minute break.
Or 10.
We're back from our break. It's 7:12 p.m. and Dr. De Leon is going to continue with her board report. She has about another minute or so.
I just have 1 minute because I have some amazing staff shout outs and I got to do this. I just got to say. All right. So here we go, because we already passed the recognition part, but I just have to say this. So I want everybody to know that we have 2 teachers in this district who've received Stanford Educator Recognition. And this is a program where our freshmen write about the teachers and or educators who supported them or made the biggest impact on their lives. 2 of our students received formal recognition from Stanford. And those are Jeff Holloway from Rio Mesa and, woo! He's not here tonight. They asked that we present it in front of their classes or at a staff meeting, so they've already received them. And then Tawny Saffron from Camarillo, woo! And she has received it twice in 3 years. Oh my gosh, that's huge. Okay, a couple other, oh yes. Oh, Diane Winter. Oh, wonderful. They didn't let me know, so yay. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, and then also I want to let everybody know that California Teacher Magazine was just put out by the California Federation of Teachers, highlighted our amazing teacher, Sharon Ferguson from Hueneme High School. She's got a feature article, and it's about paraeducators who go into teaching, and she is now an incredible SH teacher at Hueneme. And there's an article there, and so what I'm going to do is scan it and send it to the board, but I want to give her a big shout out and congratulations for the work. And then lastly, now this is top secret. I can't tell you who. But tomorrow, if you show up at PHS at 10:30, one of our Pacifica High School teachers is going to receive the Milken Foundation Award, which is a huge monetary award for excellence in education. So can't tell you who, top secret, but that is big. It's huge. So shout out to PHS as well and all the teachers there.